So, when your best friend says you need to have a disclaimer in the beginning of your podcast because the lawyer in her is screaming, you do it. Here's my disclaimer. I am not a doctor. I am not a therapist. I am not even an expert. I am you. I am bringing information to you as I see it. But don't take my advice. Make your own choices and make them good choices. On with the show.
Welcome to the podcast where we talk about cannabis.
Community violation. Code Green Plant.
Can I start? Are you good? Mm-hmm. Okay. Hello and welcome to... Wait. Second. Take two. Hello and welcome to Code Green Plant. I'm your host, Christy Chanel, and I'm here with Phoebe James.
What up? Oh, my awkward intro, like always.
Oh, I like your shirt.
Thank you.
Super cute.
I love this time of year.
I know. The funny thing is in our last episode we both had on red, and now we both have on green.
We do. Black and white and green.
Yeah. So today we're here and we're going to talk about lady parts, which I think is so important because we filmed this already a month or two ago, and I never was able to use it because the sound quality wasn't any good. So I want to make sure that we really give it the value and quality it deserves, because there are some people that may actually listen and try some things based on our recommendations. And we're not doctors, but we do know that some of these things really do work, and they don't require a prescription. So you can get them yourself. Yes, but before we do that, I thought, because we have our new thing called Burning Topics, but I didn't necessarily get a topic to talk about, but I did want to talk about what I've been seeing in we use Buzzsprout for our podcast. We use Buzzsprout, and we haven't had, that I can notice, any comments on, oh Lord. Oh. So I pulled, are you okay?
I'm okay. I'm great.
All right.
Yeah, I'm learning to love the chaos in this room.
So I don't have any,
What?
Jesus.
I'm sorry, my husband's popped in real quick. Yeah. Okay, I'm done. Thank you.
Okay.
My bad.
Okay.
Oh God, we're not done yet.
Okay.
Oh, now you can see the room, and it's not had any progress since last week.
Jeez, Phoebe, it's been a whole week. Just kidding. Yeah,
Bye.
we're in December.
That's fine. You can turn the whole thing off. Yeah, just leave it. Thank you. Bye. Love you. Kisses.
Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Yesterday was our anniversary. Remember, 10 years.
Oh, yeah. 10 years, man. Did it fly by or what?
No.
I didn't think you were going to say that.
In the aspects of my marriage,
that.
no. Now, it's flew by as far as my son getting, growing up. That's flew by. But as far as being married, it feels like it's been fucking forever. It's dragging on and on. No, I'm joking. Totally joking.
Did you find out what the 10-year anniversary thing is?
I didn't even look. No.
Phoebe, we've got to know.
What? We did our own 10-year anniversary thing.
I want to know what tradition says. Now I got to know.
Okay.
All right, why don't you look that up while
We're not traditional people, so it's just...
Oh, I know.
Okay, traditional 10-year anniversary gift. Yeah, but no. A movie I love, actually. And the lady said she was doing a toast at a wedding, and she said, "Life is short, but marriage is long. So drink up, and it'll go a lot quicker." And I that is so funny to me. It's so true.
Well,
Life is short, but marriage is long.
So not drink up, smoke up.
There you go.
Smoke up.
And that's definitely something that's helped our marriage last 10 years. Tin or aluminum?
Give him some tinfoil
Or-
to put in his bowl.
oh my God.
Remember? Do you do that? Have you ever done that? Where you poke holes in tinfoil and put it inside the bowl?
No, I don't think so.
Have you ever done? Have you ever taken a 2-liter, cut it in half, filled your sink with water, and put it in the? Yeah, I'm telling you, I've done some stupid ass stuff, but I guarantee somebody that's a smoker knows this. That's old school. Anyway, you cut a 2-liter in half. You put the top of the 2-liter in the water, and then you put the tinfoil inside the mouth of the bottle, and then poke tiny toothpick holes in it, put some weed in there, and then you light it up, and then when you lift the tinfoil off, and then you lift it out of the water, it's like a bong, a huge freaking bong.
Makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. Or take in the sink. Inside the sink they have that they have like this strain, like not a strainer, in the inside of a sink, a nozzle, they have this you obviously don't know what I'm talking about. I obviously had to make things work without having
in
utensils.
The sink, in the nozzle. Faucet? I don't know.
The faucet, but inside the faucet, there's this like a screen. Have you ever taken it from the screen and used that in a bowl? Oh God.
No.
None of my nozzles, none of my sink, my faucets had screens in them back when I was 20 years old. Yeah, I know. I'm telling you.
You're more hardcore than me.
I am hardcore. I'm telling you. It doesn't seem like I would be, but I know all the tricks. Okay, so what I wanted to talk about, well, happy anniversary, first of all. I don't want to skip over that. You're welcome.
No problem.
There will be some tinfoil on your desk when you get to work.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So
I'll take it.
Yeah, why not? Tinfoil is probably expensive now too.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. So I don't have a burning topic for today, but I did want to bring up the fact that we use Buzzsprout, which is, we're not getting paid to say this, but I really think it's a great software that I use to upload our podcast to. And in there, you're able to see your statistics for each episode. And so I go and I get really excited because I like to see the new areas that are listening or that have listened. And so I figured I'd pull some of that up and kind of give anybody that's listening to us like a little mini shout out without knowing their names. We could at least say where they're listening
shout out their country. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I can't wait to
their
hear.
city. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I pulled up today's and I can see that we have the United States obviously is our biggest pull, and that's 86% of the listeners are from the United States, but that's not the only country.
Okay.
We have Germany.
Oh.
We
Love it.
Netherlands. United Kingdom. I love their accents. It's like my favorite.
These are all places I want to visit.
Yeah, me too. I've never been out of the United States. Australia. Okay, no, they have some hot men. Okay, I just want to put that out there. Can you imagine a hot Australian single man with that accent?
I don't know what the men look like. I just know they have like dingoes and hyenas. Maybe. Keep going.
That I thought that was dirty for a second.
It's a dingo, a dog. It's like a wild dog, I think, but they're a little more hardcore than a dog.
Like a coyote.
But I think they're like wild dogs in Australia. Let me look this up, for I'm just totally saying something from left field. But keep going though. Where else?
Okay. So, Australia, India.
Oh,
India.
wow.
I love it. It's so
I
exciting.
know. Shout outs to India. All these countries.
Philippines.
Okay. Wow. Hello.
I don't know their accent, but I bet you they're hot too. I'm single, people. All right. Just bear with it.
Yeah, you're little. Okay.
I mean, okay. So now here are some of the cities. So we've got, of course, Dallas. We have Elgin, Texas, Arlington, Texas, Irving, Texas,
Whoop.
Fort Lauderdale, Florida, Frankfurt.
I know some really wonderful people from Germany, so shouts out to Germany.
I know. It's a place I definitely want to visit for sure.
Yeah.
Florida, we have Miami, Miami, a lot of Latinos.
Yeah.
I've been down to Miami, and I have a friend that lives in Miami. That's probably who's listening. But I really
Hi,
had
Christy's friend.
hi, Kevin. I think it's you. And yeah, we've been friends since high school. We actually had to do a debate against each other, and because we were in public speaking class together, and he was a year older, and we had to do a debate against each other, and it was why I said why women are better than men, and he said why men are better than women. It was fun.
Was there a winner?
There was a winner.
Who was the winner?
He was.
Okay,
He
Kevin.
won.
Okay.
He friggin' won. I don't know that he would win that today. I think
Respect for Kevin. Oh,
Respect for Kevin.
You've learned a lot more as a woman. I
have.
think he'd know. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe one day I can get him on the phone and I can do another debate.
Do it again.
I want a do-over, Kevin. Then we have Mansfield, Texas, Council Bluffs, Iowa, Kansas City, Missouri.
Really?
Yep.
Yay. Getting close to where I'm from.
I know. Sugarland, Texas. Isn't that a band? A country band? Sugarland? I think it is.
I would not know.
I'm going to say 99.9% sure Sugarland is a band. No, I'm 100% sure. I'm going to go with 100. Daytona Beach, Florida. Okay. Etten, North Brabant. So that's a country. It's from another country. I don't know. Then we got Riverside Park, New Jersey. Fort Worth, Texas. Cedar Hill, Texas. Sanger, Texas. Alameda, California. San Antonio, Texas. Island, New Jersey. That's right where my hometown used to be. Colonia, New Jersey. Okay. Colonia is not on here, but Island is. San Francisco, California. Phoenix, Arizona. Aubrey, Texas. Maplewood, New Jersey. Newark, New Jersey. Oceanside, California. Ashburn, Virginia. Newark, Delaware. Bury, it's a lot of B's here. Bury, Borough of Bury. That's another country. Ocala, Florida. Witham, Essex. That's definitely United Kingdom.
Yes.
East Hanover, New Jersey. Cannon City, Colorado. Durant, Oklahoma. Burlington, Vermont. Edison, New Jersey. That's also by my hometown. Austin, Texas. Melbourne, Victoria. That's Australia. Streator, Illinois. San Diego, California. New Delhi, National Capital Territory of Delhi. I think that's India. Piscataway, New Jersey. Bedford, Texas. Hialeah, Florida. Lawton, Oklahoma. Lexington, Kentucky. Manila, Metro Manila. Something like that.
That's the Philippines.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Mount Airy, North Carolina. Bonita Springs, Florida. Richardson, Texas. Grand Prairie, Texas. And lastly, Vancouver, Washington.
Well, that's pretty cool. We got a lot. Like, too many to name. That's so many.
I know, but I wanted a name because we don't have their actual names, people that are listening. And I wanted you to know we see you. Mm-hmm. And we appreciate you. And please keep listening. We do this show, and we hope that it touches somebody in some way, or it's funny. A lot of people think we're funny. We're not. We're not funny. But people,
as long as you don't hate us, just don't hate us.
Don't hate us. Don't hate us. But I guess we are a little bit humorous, because I had somebody left a comment. They're like, I know you guys aren't comedians, but you're funny.
Yeah. I would say to be interested, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't say that, but to be interested in cannabis, you got to have a good sense of humor somehow. Somewhere in there is a good sense of humor.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think, hopefully you get to know us. I know for sure. Like when I first started the podcast, I knew I needed a co-host. I knew I wanted somebody that I could, just spitball with and just have like a normal conversation, because I want people to listen and just feel like they're part of a conversation. Just, it doesn't really have any structure. It's just a conversation. And when you started, I was like, well, we'll see where this goes. It's really developed for me. I listen, and I'm the one editing, and I got to hear it 100 times per episode. Mm-hmm. And it's like, the last episode, I really didn't have much editing. It was that easy, that, it was just pure conversation. It felt like, anybody could just sit there and be a part of it. I'm sure some people were probably like, oh, I've heard that, just the things that we were talking about, where you just talk to the TV or the radio, whatever. So I want to say I'm so glad that you became part of this, because it really is easy. It's so easy. We don't even prepare half the time. We don't. Like, Phoebe is literally actively during the episode pulling stuff up, And I know that there's other episodes or other podcasts where they have somebody that's dedicated to that, to answer those kind of questions. And it's cool because that's Phoebe here. She's the one who's kind of doing that.
True.
And mine's all right here. It's on a notepad. So I'm old school.
Oh, yeah. I've done that a few times. I think it's just because we're real people. Like, we're just normal women that, moms go to work every day. So I feel like it's always better when we don't try to stage it and make it rehearsed and, like, prep read from something we prepared. Mm-hmm. We seem to do better when it's just us, like you said, just talking and having a conversation.
I know that, we're in December right now. This episode will air in December. So I think it would be nice to just say a couple of things about this week that people are listening and they're getting ready and they're in the hustle and bustle of life and trying to get things, caught up. I know we live in an economy right now that is really hard, and people are living paycheck to paycheck. And this right here brings a lot of stress to some families. And, they just want to make sure that they have a gift to give their kids, or, a gift for their husband or their mom. And it's hard, and, people are stressed out about it. I don't want you to be, I really don't. Everybody's going through it. It's not just some people. I feel like everybody's feeling the pain in some way. And, I just want you to know that, like, we're here. We're also feeling our own pain with it, and just remember that, I know this sounds so cliche, you have your health, but you have your family with you. And that's really the most important part. And somewhere in life, this kind of got away from us when it comes to this holiday. It became more about presents and material things instead of really what it's truly about, which is obviously a religious holiday, and not everybody is religious, but you can turn it and just make it about love and make it about your family, and try to hone in on that and do simple things that don't require a lot of money, or maybe get a family gift that you can play at the table as a game, or something that you can do something with just family. And so just know that you're not alone. I too stress. Phoebe does stress as well. And I haven't even started my shopping. So there's that. I mean, at this point, knowing this is airing December 20th.
Hopefully you're done.
I mean, there's no telling.
No, I know. Not. Some people go the very last day. So some of you might still be having to shop. Hopefully I'm done by hopefully.
You're halfway done, Phoebe.
I'm halfway done.
She'll be done.
But this is when it always gets to, like, the harder stuff, and then I just keep putting it off, and then I still am scrambling at the last minute like everybody.
Mm-hmm. So I wanted to do that, but I also, because it's almost the end of the year, I do want to say thank you for tuning in and listening to us and our chaotic world that we live in. And so thank you for that. Let's get on with the show. And we are talking about lady parts. Which most of us have. Last time we kind of talked about this, I said this isn't an episode for men, and I apologize if you happen to be listening. Phoebe corrected me and said, do you even remember?
Yeah. No, it is for men too, because they have women in their lives, and they should be interested and want to know. And this could help with their relationship with women, understand them a little more, make things easier.
Mm-hmm. It reminded me that you said that, because I watched, I think, I don't know if it was on TikTok or on YouTube or whatever, but they like strapped up men in these period simulator type things, and they had them go from 0 to like 100, and these men were freaking out.
Want to get one of those so bad and put it on my husband, because when I had periods, they were so painful. And they'll never understand what it feels like to have that, just in general, the whole thing related to it, but at least the pain, if they could understand how bad that can be.
Yeah, because another time it's like, being a female in a male-dominated area, corporations specifically, to be a woman and to call out because you have, period cramps that hurt really bad. Men are like, whatever,
Right. Work
and
through.
so we work through it. We go to work. We deal with that pain while we're sitting there dealing with customers and dealing with employees, and it's hard, especially if you're on your feet. If you're a server or you're doing something that requires you to walk around and do
Oh my
things,
gosh. Yeah.
and you're in pain. Maybe I'm just weird, and I'm not using Taylor Swift specifically because I know this will be like the 5th episode I brought her up. I guess I'm a Swiftie. I mean, if I brought her up that much,
I'm okay with it. I fully support it.
I do. I like her a lot. So when she's performing, I see these things that are popping up, and you see she's singing and she's in her sparkly boots and her sparkly outfit. I actually stopped one time and I'm like, I wonder what she does when she has her freaking period. When she's in pain, or, any artist, Beyonce, anybody that's up there that has to perform because they are required to perform in front of all of these people. And then they have menstrual cramps that are in pain. They're in pain or they're throwing up because it's so bad. I'm not saying they are, but there are women performers that go through that. And they have to. I mean,
I that's such a great point. How do you even do that? Especially in
I don't know.
outfits and how much moving around. Respect to those ladies.
Mad respect, because it's like I did plan my life around that. Whereas I can't go to do this. I never used. Okay, here's some transparency here. I never used tampons. I never used tampons. I've tried it a couple of different times, but I never ever bought like a pack of tampons like my whole life. Okay. I was a pad girl, and I don't know why, but because of that, I decided, I couldn't go swimming. So I had to plan my whole freaking life around my period. So my friends would go to the pool and I'm like, I can't, And so I had to not do a lot of things because of that. And obviously wearing white was not an option.
Yeah. And I acted shocked, not because of that, but I am too. I prefer pads, and most women prefer tampons. Yes, most women prefer tampons, and I very rarely meet other women that use pads too. See, now I'm not as extreme because I will go swimming and wear one if I have to, but just my daily preference, it was pads, which was not always great because I had really, really, really heavy times of the month, and at night it was really hard to manage it with pads, honestly, but I did figure it out. But yeah, I was the same with tampons. They just were uncomfortable for me. I don't really know. I didn't, that's interesting, Christy.
Yeah,
some men just don't understand.
No, they don't.
You even have to have those thoughts, like, how do you navigate that when it comes up that time of the month? Like, you have to plan, like you said, you have to plan around it.
Mm-hmm. My whole life I was planning around it. And, even like your pad showing through your pants and like, I can't wear those pants today because it's too bulky, and, wear longer shirts. So, can you see your pad? Can you see it?
Yeah, and always paying attention to when it's going to come to make sure you have one on you, just if it starts when you're out in public or out at school, like, so you don't have an accident. You got to get ahead of it. It's such a pain in the butt.
It is. And luckily, one thing that I did have that was good was that I was able to pretty much time out within a day of when I would get it, because I was very regular with my period. But, you plan a vacation and you're like, God, dang it, because your day, it moves, because in the calendar year, it moves a day or two that way. And so you may plan a trip in advance, and then it's like, damn it.
Yeah.
Man, it's the beach time.
That stinks.
So...
And again, we're not doctors, but we are women. So I put that disclaimer before I say this. But did you know that if you're taking pills, you can skip your period?
What? Say that again?
Because I was thinking about that. Like, maybe that's something performers do somehow. If you're on birth control pills, you can utilize the pills to skip your periods. And I heard back in the day that doctors would say it's safe to do that for 3 months consecutively. But like at the 4th month, you need to have a period.
No, but I wish I did. I was on the pill for a little while, and whenever
so like how you were talking about planning, like you could have just planned to take it through there. I don't think most women probably don't know that. Yeah, I'm telling you now. Lots of interesting things about birth control, if you might not know, but like, that's one that you just skip how you're on the cycle, and it's like you take the pink ones, and then what color's yours, and then there's the yellow, like the 7 yellow or something. So what you do is green. Okay, so you skip the ones that change color when it's your period time. You skip them. You just jump to the next pack and you continue in the same color. You don't take, because those peach ones are just placebo pills. That's what's going on there. And they're just like reminder pills, so you keep on track and keep taking them. But that's what's happening is the peach pills, or the majority pills, are keeping you from having your period. And then you get rid of them. Basically, you stop while you are, so you can have the period. It stops doing whatever hormone blocks it. So then you have it, you get it over with, then you start taking them again. So that's why. So if you just skip that little week's worth and jump to the next pack, you'll skip your period.
What?
Yes.
So, okay.
Like I said, I'm not a doctor.
Wow. No, she's not.
So
and don't
look it
do
up yourself. Look it up. Talk to your doctor. But I used to do it.
You've done it.
That back in the day. I took birth control in a super, super long time. So this was when I was young and dumb. So definitely look it up. Definitely look it up, because I was, an idiot. I was an idiot back then. I don't even want to Google it. Maybe I just said something really bad. I don't think so, though.
Okay, this is Phoebe's
No, I don't think so at all.
This is Phoebe's experience. This is a disclaimer. Absolutely do not do this without talking to your doctor or looking it up and feeling comfortable yourself. I cannot believe that.
Listen. I Googled it. Okay, so I don't have to feel bad anymore.
Okay.
It's possible to delay or prevent your period with extended or continuous use of any combined estrogen progestin birth control pill. Your doctor can recommend the best pill schedule for you, but generally you skip the inactive pills in your pill pack and start right away on a new pack. And Mayo Clinic.
Groundbreaking. Wow. That is awesome. Do you know how many times I would have done that? Because I started taking the pill. Now this may be controversial, but I started taking the pill when I was 16.
Oh, okay.
I had a boyfriend for 4 years. My mom wasn't having it.
Oh my. Oh yeah. I'm sorry. I got to read this real quick.
Sure.
Because you didn't even know this, and it says here.
Nope.
Because I wanted to see if it's safe. Before we release this out to everybody, and it says it's totally safe. It says if your doctor says it's okay for you to take the birth control, it's probably safe to use it to delay your period. Delaying menstruation remains controversial. However, even physicians who support the option may not mention it unless you bring up the topic. If you want to try delaying your period, ask your doctor which option might work for you, and then it tells you the different options and everything. And it says, like, for drawbacks of delaying it, the only drawback it says is breakthrough bleeding.
Okay, which you were going to bleed anyway.
Yeah. It's crazy that's a thing and you didn't know it. And then it says in this thing, unless you ask your doctor, they're not going to tell you. And like, that's kind of part of the problem for women is the healthcare for us is just not what it is for men. I mean, there's so many studies on that.
That's a big deal. I mean, that's like groundbreaking. I am shocked right now that I had control of that. And I don't have a period anymore. But when I did, that would have been, wow. All right. Look at us. I mean, because wow. Okay. I'm going to take a minute, just digest that information. That's incredible. And you knew about it. How the hell did you know about it?
I just know random facts. You know me.
Oh my God, she's great at Trivia Pursuit, I'm sure.
Well, and also I used to have friends that didn't like to have periods because, they were fast, maybe. I shouldn't say that, but, that's probably honestly why I knew that.
Okay.
Fast friends. But,
we didn't even cover that part yet.
But did you know, okay, this is another one I'm going to drop and see if you know it. Maybe you know it. But did you know that when you're on your period, okay, so you know how people have pheromones and they're attracted to the other sex, opposite sex, and pheromones and play a part in that. When you are on birth control, you don't have that, you're basically blocked. Your pheromone and your little radar is off. It's not on the spot, or, it's, your radar is off, your pheromone radar is off. And so it's best to get off of birth control before you really think about having a baby with someone or getting married to someone. Because once you turn that receptor off, you may realize you don't have that same attraction to them when you're not on birth control.
Wait a minute,
like,
hold on.
Birth control, so pheromones are basically, it's a way for us, nature, to kind of guide us to people we're genetically compatible with. That's what it all does. And so that's why it's just an underlying thing that attracts you to someone. It's the smell. I don't know what it is. It's pheromone. It's a thing.
Yeah.
And when you're on birth control, you basically don't have that. And so you're going to hook up with someone who you might not necessarily if you weren't taking it. And it's because you don't have that radar on. And that radar is something you should really have on before you have kids, to make sure you are, getting the best genetic selection, I guess.
Let's not even talk about my exes, please.
No. Were you on birth control when you met him,
No.
Christy?
I was not, obvious. No. But okay, but I thought pheromones are something that you emit for the other person, so that would make them attracted to you. So if you were cutting off your pheromones, wouldn't they not be attracted to, well, no, because they would have been attracted for you.
Come on, man. I don't think it's like that for men. I think it's women, because we're the ones that carry the child. But their pheromones,
but we're attracted to their smell. So if their smell, they don't cut their smell off. So how
right,
would
but we don't have receptors for this. We don't have, our receptors are like turned off. Yeah, we're not able to.
Okay. Receptors. So our receptors are like this. And so the smell is like not having. Okay. Yeah, well, I could see that. So everybody get off your birth control. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. Just kidding. Wow, you are spitting facts today. I'm loving this. I had no idea. Okay. So when did you go on birth control? Was it younger or older?
I don't know what you would consider older or younger. I mean,
16 for me. So I was very young.
I was probably about 16 or 17.
Okay.
See, I feel like some people probably start younger than that. So that's where I'm like, I don't know what we're gauging. I would say around then, because that's when I became sexually active, 16, 17.
Yeah. I was younger, but we don't have to get into that. But I was in a relationship for 4 years. Not that anybody should have sex early like that. So I had really, really horrendous periods. Horrendous. Prescription medicine, went to the hospital, took a trip, had to go to the emergency room, ended up having to come home early from the trip. It was bad. In high school, I would have to go to the bathroom and I felt sick, and my mom would have to leave work and come pick me up. I mean, it was horrible. And the only way I got rid of it was having a baby. So I had my first baby, and Austin, and I didn't have problems with my period ever again. So I'm not really sure why in some people it's really horrible and in other people it's not. I don't know why, what it is that makes one woman experience these horrible, being nauseous and throwing up, and then other women, they're just like, whatever. But I guess it would compare to like just being pregnant. Same thing. Some people experience nausea and some people don't. I had perfect pregnancies. I did not ever get sick. So I guess it balanced out for me because I had all the sickness when I had my period, but when I was pregnant, I didn't have any. So what about you? Did you have horrible periods, or were they easy?
No, I did, but it wasn't until later adulthood when I started having bad ones. Mm-hmm. I was in my late 20s, early 30s is when they were really bad. They were super duper painful. Just nothing really would dull the pain. But when I was younger, I was lucky. I didn't have those issues until I was older.
Now, I know that some people that are experiencing this, there are some kind of remedies for that. That don't involve THC, which is the cannabinoid that gets you a high in your brain, psychoactive. So there's CBD, which is really good for inflammation, and they make bath bombs, but I think that's something that's very good to relax your body and ease that inflammation and kind of bring down swelling in that situation. So a bath bomb I would recommend for anyone. And then, they have like CBD topicals that, same thing, good for inflammation, that you can rub on your belly for, aches and pains and things like that. But those are the things that do not involve THC. As you graduate and pass through that, there are things that do have THC, which is probably recommended for an adult. We were talking about tampons, so I
Yeah,
figured.
I was gonna say, and then ironically, neither one of us use them, but if I did, I sure would try these, and I probably would try them even if I would probably still try them if I still had periods, because as bad as mine were, mine were
What?
so bad I had a procedure, to make them go away, but they are, yeah, so a brand called Daye, make CBD and nude organic tampons.
Huh.
So, like you were saying, ways to get the or the CBD there to the spot of the pain to help get rid of it. Various ways you could take it as rub it on, take a tincture, take all kinds of ways. But this one here gets it pretty much right there where you need it.
Right to the spot.
Right to the spot. Yeah, but it's coated at 100 milligrams of 30% concentration medical grade CBD.
That's
And
incredible.
I know. I wish stuff like this would have been around that I could have tried.
Do they have any reviews that they show? I'm
Let
curious
me
what
see.
other people say
But they have
about it.
regular and super. Yes, they do have reviews. They have 4.5 stars.
Okay.
Yeah, it says they're 100% safe. Oh, some of the reviews based on 419 reviews. Love this company. Their products are great, comfortable, and efficient. Great product, good brand, reliable delivery. Fantastically high quality, hygienic menstrual products. So yeah, CBD infused tampons.
Okay, that's something. If I had my period, if I used tampons, I would definitely,
Seriously.
absolutely give that a try. And I would say that my daughter was actually looking for a more natural product in pads. My daughter's also a pad user, go figure. And so she was looking for something that was a natural, she wasn't putting plastic there. All those little things, those chemical things that they're putting in products. She was looking for an all natural. I don't have one right here, but I know that she did order them. I need to ask her and maybe tell you the next episode. But
Okay.
yeah, there are alternatives to whatever's out there if you're looking for something that's a little bit more natural, that opposed to plastics and stuff and chemicals. And that's one of them, the tampons.
Yep, these are 100% organic cotton. And there's some reviews from actual OBGYNs that say that they use them and they would recommend them.
Man, two things I could have used when I was younger.
Imagine? Exactly. Could you imagine? Could you imagine? Well, luckily, I'm still in a stage where, as women, we're constantly in some stage of our cycle, our life cycle, our menstrual cycle.
Yeah.
And yeah, I am wondering if I'm getting to like the perimenopause stage. So
Why do you think so?
I just have some of the symptoms, so it's hard for me to tell because I already don't have a period. I know that's one of the main symptoms people look for, and that's never going to be a symptom for me to know for sure, but
Why
I
don't
just
you
have
get-
some
why
of the
not?
symptoms.
Why don't you have a period?
I had an ablation.
Okay. What is an ablation?
They basically like burn out the lining, I think, of your uterus, so you no longer will build up the uterine walls, which is what you need to get pregnant. The uterine lining, and that's what you shed when you have a period. So I don't.
But why?
Why'd I get one?
Yeah. What happened?
Because the pain, they were so painful and heavy,
okay.
my periods. And I was just tired of dealing with them to where I was 40 something, I was 42, 43. I'm like, I don't want to, I don't want another kid at this point. These are doing me no use other than causing me a lot of pain. Like they were so heavy and so painful. And so the doctor's like, yep, okay, there's options. So that's the one we did. And it will either lessen your period, your flow and lessen the pain, or it'll make it go away. It can do either or. And for me, I was lucky. It just went away altogether.
Wow. Okay.
Yes, it's been great.
Is that something that insurance would cover, or is it very expensive?
No, insurance covered it. I just had a copay because it was since I was in pain, it wasn't just like it wasn't just for the fun of it. It wasn't cosmetic. It was
Sure.
it was a medical reason because I was in so much pain.
So you had that done. You don't any longer have a period, so it can be a little confusing when you reach this kind of a stage. What makes you think that you might be in perimenopause?
Well, some of the symptoms, when you read them, but I think it might have been you. It was
Probably
one of my
me.
friends. I was having hot flashes, and I'm just
It was
like,
me.
I don't know why I'm having these freaking hot, like at night, and I would wake up drenched in sweat, and it wasn't even hot in the room. And I'm like, what is going on? And I think you had said like, well, maybe it's, and I'm like, oh, I am getting about to that age. So I looked up just the symptoms, and Yeah,
What
it
are
could
the
be.
symptoms?
And I'm like in that, I'm in the age range. So, symptoms, irregular periods. That's number one, which, like I said, I don't have
would
that
know.
gauge. But hot flashes and sleep problems, have both of those. Sleep problems are often due to hot flashes or night sweats, but sometimes sleep becomes unpredictable even without them. Mood changes, so mood swings, irritability, increased risk of depression, vaginal and bladder problems. So estrogen levels diminish your vaginal tissues, and you may lose, there's issues there. Decreased fertility, changes in sexual function. You may have change in your sexual arousal. Loss of bone, that one I don't know. Changing cholesterol levels. I actually have had unfavorable changes in my cholesterol, so that even could be.
Oh.
But I have I don't necessarily want to say all of these because some of you might be like, "Oh, you got that going on."
No.
But,
This doesn't necessarily mean you have
yeah,
it.
no, I was just reading the different ones, and I have, there's a few, and I'm in that age where it's like, okay, that could definitely be going on.
How old are you, Phoebe, right now?
What? You never ask a woman their age, Christy.
I'm about to talk about mine.
I'm 44, so yeah.
Okay. And hey, just since you brought that up, it's true. It is something that you're not supposed to ask a woman. A man should never ask a woman our age, but I'd like to just kind of dissect that for a second. Why not? Is it because it's supposed to be a bad thing for women to be older and therefore they don't want people to know how old they are because it diminishes their value in some way? Probably. And so I would like to wipe
patriarchy.
I would like to wipe that away and never, ever let anyone say, don't ask a woman their age. And this is obviously a new thing. I just thought of it just when you said it. Like, why not? Why can't we? And that's why, because people feel diminished. And I'm challenging that because I myself am 50. And just saying that causes me pain. So I'm trying to get past that for myself. And the way to do that is to eradicate other people thinking it's a bad thing.
I mean, ageism is a thing. So yeah,
it is
I guess
a
that's
thing
what it is. Yeah.
And everything. So I'm going to ask you again. How old were you? I didn't hear what you said.
44.
44. Okay.
I think
so
I don't like to be asked because when you're asked, it makes you think of your own mortality. That's why I don't want to say my age. Like,
that's fair
you
too.
know, that
that's
I don't,
too.
it's to me, it's not, I feel diminished. That's not it at all. Cause I'm proud to be this age. Like, hey, it beats the alternative. I'm glad to get this age. I want to see many more ages and years, but it also just makes you have that immediate thought of mortality. It's like, even if it's just a moment, a fleck of like, you realize I'm getting closer to the end than I am the beginning when you're my age. I'm going through that kind of middle stage, where you're kind of transitioning to the next phase of life in a way.
I know. And that's terrifying. And that's why it's good that we're talking about it because, like I said, it's been a year. In October, it was a year that I haven't had my period. So that told me that really for years before that, I was in perimenopause and didn't know it. So I look back and I think about all the things that maybe I might have overreacted on. And then I rewind that and I'm like, was that due to extreme hormones and my lack of patience? Or was that because it's real? And so what I've come to learn is all of it was valid. And maybe going through that pushed me quicker to make those decisions that maybe would have taken me longer had I been younger, and one of them was leaving my last job. So that was right in perimenopause. Now that I think about it, I'm like, I left a job for 9.5 years and said, no, I'm not going to do this anymore. And I think some of it could have been perimenopause, not knowing it, and frustration and less patience for things that I was very patient for before.
Well, and that's definitely where I'm at. I mean, that working with me right now, I am just up for the fight on everything. And I mean, I've said before, I'm a recovering people pleaser. So that's new for me to not just go along and like, all right, I'll give it a good try. And now I'm like, F this. Like, I'm picking fights with everybody at this point. Like, no, even if I don't win the fight, you're going to hear me. You're going to hear about it.
Yeah.
So, and that could definitely be part of this,
It is. So it's just really good to be self-aware and know where your core is. And the things that I've experienced with you, I think are valid. I think that you have valid feelings and your patience is less, which comes with perimenopause.
Yeah.
So you had all this patience for things in the past that you don't have now. And that's what's coming out. And that is not a bad thing.
I was just going to say, it's not a bad thing at all.
No.
When I think about some of the women that I'm like, oh, she's a badass. She's probably past that phase, and the patience is gone. And those are women I want to be like. So, yeah. It's like when I was younger, I had the phase, I was rage against everything. And then you kind of get to that weird middle stage where you just want to build a good life and just go along with it's just weird. Don't want to rock the boat at all, because you just trying to attain something, and then you get to the point where you're like, screw all this shit again.
Yeah, I think I'm still at rage against everything. I don't know. I think that's
it comes back. It comes back. That's yeah.
Because if
it never really went away.
No, and when we do a podcast, we really are forcing ourselves to look at things in our past, and so I know that for sure the things I've chosen in life is because I like to go against the grain. And that's just a rebellious side. And I know you have it too, because
I guess you come up with different ways to channel it. That's maybe what I should say. You still have it. You just channel it in other ways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I can tell you, because I am an older, wiser person, that it starts to feel like your color, like a peacock. Like, maybe your tail was down before and now it's up and it's spread, and you're like, I'm here. I'm ready, and I'm going to kick some ass. And I want that for women that may feel like, oh my God, my birthday's coming. And you had mentioned mortality. And actually on the drive here, I was thinking about mortality. And what came to my mind was time. That is a man-made thing. Time.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? I know that. Think about that for a second.
Were you high when you came up with that?
No, I'm just a forward thinker.
Well, yeah, time is. I mean, what is it? It's not a thing. Yeah,
it's not a thing. So really, age is not a thing. It's how long we've been walking on the planet, but time was man-made. So that's why people live into 110. Why are they living to 110? They drink Dr. Pepper and smoke cigarettes, but this person over here is dying at 25. That doesn't do that. It is, everybody's different, and everybody has a mission on this planet, and everybody has something that they're going to be accomplishing, whether it's having a child who's going to be the next president of the United States, or discover something that will help cancer. We all have a mission here on Earth, and the age has nothing to do with that. And that is what was coming into my mind. I'm like, yeah, I'm freaking 50. Yeah, I don't have a period. Thank God I don't have a period. Like, I'm happy about that. I'm really happy about that. And I can wear what I want to wear any time of the month. And I'm not in pain any time of the month. And I don't have to worry about buying pads, which are so freaking expensive. And insurance has just started covering stuff like that, which just happened. So it's been multiple years of not having this paid and carried under insurance, because women's health care is not really a priority in this world. Just saying. Mm-hmm. And so, I just wanted to put that out there, because it was relevant, I think. And, our mission has nothing to do with our age. So we're not going to die next year.
Right.
We're not.
No.
Our mission is just starting. It's just a fact. So that's what I wanted to say about that. Back to menopause, because I go on to my turn. Oh, my computer just did something funny. I wanted to bring something up, because I don't know if I told you, but I found I was tested in elementary school. Have I told you that?
I don't know. Tested for what?
Well, I remember being tested in second grade, and I was going through a box. I was looking for something, and I pulled out an envelope, and it said, "To the parents of Christy Chapman," okay, which is my maiden name. And I open it up, and it's the test. It's the test. It was a third-party test at the school, and my parents thought I needed to be tested, okay? I'm reading this, and it's talking about Christy is a sweet, pretty, charming girl, which has nothing to do with testing my brain, which kind of pissed me off. My daughter was raged by it. She's like, why are they saying that you're pretty and charming? There's nothing to do with this. I'm like, I know, Hannah, chill. It was back in 1980, okay? And I'm reading through it, and they're saying she is easily distracted. She's 100% easily distracted. She's going to have trouble because her biggest struggle, and now you might know this as being my supervisor, this may help you a little bit, is verbal instructions, verbal directions. So whenever we gave Christy instructions that were 1 through 10, she struggled because she needs to visually do it and see it and write it down. And that's why I always have a notepad and I always have a pen. And so they said that she's easily, they were describing an ADD kid, okay, which ADD wasn't even invented yet until 1987. So it wasn't described as that. It was just saying how I was easily distracted, but it also said I was above average in communication and above average in my vocabulary. They actually said this. Now keep in mind, I'm 7. They said, Christy's above average in her vocabulary and her communication, but tends to fall back into baby language. I'm like, I'm 7.
Right.
So I don't know. So anyway, so I thought it was really ironic that, all of those things were there. And so when my parents gave me the test back, they said, absolutely normal. There's absolutely nothing wrong with you. They never told me the test. They didn't want me to use it as a handicap, but they taught me things. So that's why if you see me in a meeting and I say, okay, I'm going to reiterate what you just said, it's because I've been trained as a child to repeat back what the instructions are so that I make sure I understand what you're saying because it's all verbal. And that's also why when we were in those Monday meetings and I had all these people shooting questions at me, why it sent me into like a freaking panic. Because I know that's a weakness for me and it's hard for me to retain it. So it's, yeah, I learned a lot about myself just by reading that test that I didn't know, that I'm just kind of impressed that I've been able to survive all this time. And they gave me those skills at a very young age. So it also tells you if you get these tests for your kids and you're worried about your kids and you read these tests, it's just a piece of paper, it's what you as a parent give your children to get over that really, really sends them through. And I only brought this up to tell you that I'm ADD and I like to change subjects a lot.
I was thinking, I'm like,
how did we get here?
Menopause and now we're on. But
my point.
Hey, it's all good stuff. I learned new stuff.
Yeah. But that's my point. So that's why it may seem like, and I don't want people to think I'm stupid when I don't get something right away, but I have the brain to comprehend it. It's just the way I comprehend it is completely different than the average person.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So anyway, as we were getting off topic because I'm ADD and I wanted that to be a fact,
You're silly.
Let's circle back to the menopause. So,
okay.
All right, I definitely am in it because I haven't. They say it has to be a year of no period. So I know that I'm definitely 100% in it. I don't think I experienced a lot of those things. I'm not sure why. I'm kind of waiting for the shoe to drop. But I did have some night sweats. I did experience night sweats. It wasn't like months of it though. I feel like it was like very fleeting. It was like a week or two. And I did have night sweats this week though. This past week, and I'm wondering if it had to do with the cigarette smoke. I don't know if quitting that it was coming,
makes sense,
oozing from my skin, or
it's hard telling.
My body was freaking
withdrawals.
out. Yeah,
you're going through withdrawals. So
yeah, so I had some night sweats this past week over that. But again, I'm not sure if it's associated with menopause or not. I think I've kind of stabilized on my mood. I'm not really sure, but I do know if I get worked up, the first thing I want to do is to take a quarter of a gummy so that I know that I can calm myself down.
Yeah.
And so I use it for mood, really. If I'm going to use it, it's for mood for me. What about you? Have you experienced brain fog or anything like that?
Brain fog is one. I've experienced so many of them. Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, I was looking at some stuff online about like what can I do to help all this, and CBD did just keep popping up in different articles and different areas for it treats so many different things related to, these women's symptoms at all stages of our lives. Like we talked about tampons, but it's also things you can take. And also I was going to mention like that. Yeah, but you said it for ADHD, even it's something you can take for that. But yeah, I did find articles that a lot of women are turning to cannabis now for menopause symptom relief. And I think that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it is. It is. And I know that I was reading articles last week and they were saying that a big, huge part of the market is being missed because
Hmm.
a lot of these products are not being aimed at women and they're just being aimed at men. And cannabis is such a huge market over here. Like Gen Z is one of the biggest up and coming women groups that are acknowledging that they're here and they're interested in cannabis. So I see a tide changing because if they don't change with it, they're going to miss a huge monetary market right there. Whoopi Goldberg and her partner at the time, back in, I feel like it was 2020, came up with a women focused cannabis brand for menstrual pain and all of the things that are associated with cramps and stuff. They did separate and go out of business or, stop the brand. But I know Whoopi
Hmm.
Goldberg is coming back with another brand. I'm just not sure if it's going to be women focused or not. But I would say that, man, if you're looking to have a cannabis brand, you really have a huge market here. And they have something to say. They need it,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Was there anything else on menopause for today that you wanted to talk about? I'm sure it's going to be an ongoing subject
It's
because,
probably going to be ongoing. Yeah. It'll just
yeah,
come up here and
hmm
there. And that's, like we said, we're women. So we talk about stuff that we're going through and we
hmm
relate to. Yeah, I liked reading the different articles about, like I said, how women are looking to cannabis. And then I feel like, oh, okay, it is a thing and it's not just, you know.
well, sleeping is a major problem when you're going through night sweats or anything like that. And cannabis is known to help you sleep. CBN is a big player in the market when it comes to sleep. My dad, 70
Yeah.
years old, uses it. I think that there's a lot of things that can help you get through this. Just know, I feel like I might be on the other side of it. And Phoebe is actually going through it or about to go through it. And I love her facial expressions. She's like, yay.
Right.
But it's cool on the other side, man, because now you don't have a period and you're able to do whatever you want and show your peacock feathers. So with that, I would like to say thank you for listening. Please remember to hit the like and subscribe button. Follow us, comment, check us out, simplyvibin.com. We've got some really great products there if you need some last minute Christmas presents. And for oils and beard oil and more coming. I think we have some t-shirts and some hats that might be being produced and on the website soon. We'll hit you with that later on. But thank you for being here and have a great, whatever day you're listening. Have a great day.
Yay. Holidays.
Yay. See us back on Wednesday. Merry Christmas. Have a happy and safe holiday.
This episode of Code Green Plant was sponsored by Simply Vibin LLC. Code Green Plant is a Simply Vibin production hosted by Christy Chanel along with her co-host Phoebe James. This podcast is not intended to be used for medical advice and is solely the opinion of the host. Please consult your physician. If you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and don't forget to follow us on social media. Want more? Visit www.simplyvibin.com. And a special thank you to the core group of people who helped with the creation of the Code Green Plant podcast. We appreciate you simply vibing with us.
Code Green Plant.